8 players with an 80% hit rate over the last 10 games in the NBA. Man, let's go. I'm starting with Norman Powell. We was on Norman Powell points, rebounds, and assists when it was at 26.5, and he had a 90% hit rate. We lost that streak. The number has come down to 23.5 over the last 10 games. It's hitting at 80%. He's averages 28 points, rebounds, and assists over the last 10 games. We take the over. Norman Powell, 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I meant to start with James Harden. James Harden rebound line is at 5.5 over the last 10 games. It's hitting at 80%. He averages 6.2 rebounds per game over the last 10. We take the over. James Harden over 5.5 rebounds. Zubac points, rebounds, and assists line is at 27.5. He's hit about 7 straight. It's hitting at 80%. He averages 29.4 over the last 10. It's close, but he's been balling. We take Zubac to go over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I meant to answer that question that someone had asked me about points, rebounds, and assists. It's just a combination of all of those stats. For example, you can see here in the last game, Zubac had 1 assist, 16 rebounds and 18 points, totaling up to 35 points, rebounds, and assists. His line is at 27.5. We expect Zubac to go over a total of 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Next, I got Clint Capella, and I think his rebounds is at 8.5. It is. It's hitting at 80% over the last 10 games. He's averaging 10 rebounds per game. Give me the over of Clint Capella, 8.5 rebounds. And then I got Zachariah Rasasher. His points, rebounds, and assist line is set at 11.5 over the last 10 games. He's averaging 16.2 points, rebounds, and assists. It's hitting at 80% over those last 10 games. I'm taking the over. Zachary Rasasher, 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I got Donovan Mitchell assist line at 4.5. The under is hitting at 80%. He's averaging 3.6 assists. We got the assist line at 4.5. We take the under. Donovan Mitchell going under 4.5 assists. And then I got Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson rebound line at 3.5 is hitting at 80%. The under is hitting at 80% over the last 10 games. He averages just 3 rebounds over the last 10 games. The line's at 3.5. We take Jalen Brunson to go under 3.5 rebounds. That might be sweaty. And then I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I'm going to give a valiant effort. And I think it's Tajane Saloon or Salon. Anyway, his points, rebounds, and assists is at 19.5. Over the last 10 games, the under is hitting at 80% as he only averages 11 points, rebounds, and assists over the last 10 games. He did go over, having 23 in his last outing, which is awesome for us. So he broke the little streak, had his outlier game. We take the under. 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That was 8 players with an 80% hit rate on their props for the NBA tomorrow. Let's hop over to Daily Grind Fantasy and see what sharp plays are available. I love checking Daily Grind Fantasy because you never know what the action, what the value is going to be at. Right now, it looks like there's a ton of esport plays, a couple of college football play, fantasy scores. I don't see anything that's extremely attractive. I'm looking for something that has a really decent chance odds to hit anything over 54.2, but I want a number of data points. So me off the top, knowing that all I see of the esports plays, there are not going to be a ton of data points with those. Let's hop over to Underdog Fantasy and see what they do. Yo, if you want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy, the code is RICO to get 25% off your first month. And you already know, pickfinder.app, code ReallyRico will get you 10% off for the life of your subscription. You see that bitch scrolling at the top and at the bottom. That's for you, brother. This is Underdog Fantasy. This is Underdog Fantasy. We're looking for sharp plays. Again, we only see most of the esport plays. And again, I'm not jumping on these because they only have 1 or 2 data points. If this is the case, I may as well go pull these plays up and look at their historical data and do the same thing. I mean, do what we just did, looking for 80%, 100% hit rates. So nothing there, nothing to get excited about. For me, I see Josh Jacobs fantasy scores under 16.5. It has a ton of data points. I'm not a huge fan of this play or any of the fantasy scores because of how most of the books don't really calculate or put out a line for fantasy score. Daily Grind Fantasy puts out a calculation for if that book would drop a fantasy score, but all books don't have a fantasy score. I rather look for a normal regular prop. Speaking of which, let's hop over to Flip and see if they have anything that's extremely attractive for tomorrow. We got a ton of NBA games tomorrow. This is about 8 p.m. that I'm dropping this video, but I had to put out my 80% hit rate players. You already know, and then fall back check for the sharp plays. I may or may not be streaming tonight. If not, thanks for watching the video. If you're new here, subscribe, bruh. Like the video. It goes down in this bitch. I'm on Fliff. There's a ton of value. You know what I mean? But most of it is for Saturday's college football games, as you can see here. I'm gonna filter down to the NBA and see what they do. Bang. I like to throw some college basketball in there. Before I do that, you see I got the NBA selected already, and that's not a ton of value, nothing of any interest. But I'm gonna select college basketball also, see if I can scroll through here and find any value. And look, not a ton. I know that will change, and I might stream if that does change in the middle of the night. Not in the middle of the night, you know, about midnight, how I usually do. But with that said, you already know, I'm ReallyRico. Let's get this dough, bruh. Peace. I'm out.